surprise, surprise, I actually enjoyed this episode quite a lot. From Fatima and Paul going for a run to clear her head, to Deja and her beautifully comedic dope relief. And Angela, girl, go ahead and get yours with Horseman. What's good, y'all? It's your good sis Erica Vane coming to you right here on Erica Vane TV with another ZATIMA video. In this video, I am breaking down season 2, episode 17, titled Energy Shift. The synopsis reads, ZAC and Jeremiah come to blows after getting devastating news about their mom, and Fatima considers getting back together with ZAC, and Belinda confronts Nathan about being too honest. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on your bell notifications so you don't miss out on any of my ZATIMA content and conversations. And without further ado, let's talk about this episode because it was a bit funny. It was a bit funny. Before we jump into this video, I have to let you know that this video was created during the 2023 WGA and SAG after strikes. Without the labor of the writers and actors currently on strike, the series being covered here wouldn't exist. Through the duration of these strikes, my company and I stand in solidarity with both unions and are refusing paid opportunities presented by struck companies such as the 8 major Hollywood studios. Content created on Erica Vane platforms are independent of any struck company and not created in promotion of said company. Articles, videos, and audio posts are created in critique of the media in support of the artists who created it. It is important that you, the audience, know that these strikes are a result of corporate greed. The writers and actors have been victimized by major studios for quite some time, and the time is now to demand fair pay and working conditions, standardized practices across streaming business models, and other terms that will ensure the pipeline for new aspiring creators remains open and viable for years to come. At this time, neither union is calling for a boycott of any television or film content. If you would like to support either or both unions, consider donating to strike funds, walking local picket lines, and using your social media platform to amplify messages delivered daily by union members and leaders. Links to official websites and more information can be found in the description box down below. Videos explaining both strikes and continual strike news can be found on Erica Vane TV. Now let's get into it. Okay, so in this breakdown, I'm gonna jump all over the place because I'm actually gonna start towards the end. When Deja says, "Is that your or no?"
Is that your nigga or no?
All right, I got it.
Fucking stupid. Cackle here, cackle. Shout out to Jazzy because she is really great in the role of Deja, and the unexpected comedic relief that was the confrontation between Deja and Fatima, because Fatima is parked outside the duplex trying to talk herself out of going in and taking ZAC back and just falling back into that old thing, and Deja happens to pull up with what looks like a John because it's giving you tricking, but we ain't judging Miss Mama. She pulls up with no neck brace, no nothing, and Fatima like, got your girl, yeah, got you. You ain't nothing wrong with your ass, nothing wrong with your neck. I got you on video. Drop that lawsuit. Now, the only thing I didn't enjoy, but that's also probably because the fans have ruined it for me, honestly. I'm not even gonna hold you. Her bringing up Madam and saying that she's gonna send Madam over there to deal with Deja if she don't drop the lawsuit. I was just like, please do not bring up Madam ever again, because Tyler Perry gave y'all that one time, and now y'all think that Madam is supposed to be deployed for any and everything. Meanwhile, Madam has her own fish to fry, bigger fish to fry. The concierge is on her head, wants her head basically behind Lotus, and now her damn brother, so she don't have time to come over here and deal with Deja, Karen, or any of other Fatima trivial ass problems. Okay, I really wish that would have been dialogue that was left out, because now I know that y'all got another 6 months into dragging Madam into this and like trying to bring up Madam as the Fatima get out of jail free card, and Fatima can basically do no wrong and whatever. Like, and I tell you, I am so over the comments that I get about, oh, Fatima gonna get better for Karen, Fatima gonna get better for this, Fatima gonna get better for that. Girl, relax. And no, she not. Whatever. The lawsuit's gonna get dropped. Clearly Deja's not hurt. Clearly she's been fraudulent. However, she trying to deflect, talking about, well, I seen ZAC leave here with a bitch named Connie, and I got photos. And when she pulled the damn phone out and said, is that your nick or no? I literally could not stop laughing. And then, you know, because ZAC sent Connie to go make sure the door was locked, Connie is walking, and then Fatima is able to see it. And that's how the episode ends, right? So let's backtrack, because that's all the way at the end. Let's go up to the top, the tippity top. So Angela's calling over Paul's friend because she ready to get that thing put on her. He hung like a horse as well, which Fatima peeps when she decides to leave again, because they are doing all types of stuff. And I guess because the boy it's well endowed, that will have Angela hollering and screaming and doing all types of stuff. As long as you having a good old time. Angela, just to make a quick note, she was actually tolerable in this episode. Like, I thought that she was actually funny too. I found myself laughing a lot in this episode, which I appreciate. Even though it's such heavy material, Miss Gladys overdoses, and that sends Zach to the hospital. He gets into it with Jeremiah. But outside of that serious moment, there's a ton of like levity throughout the episodes where you actually get to enjoy the characters and their interactions and laugh. Like, I even laughed in moments with Belinda and Nate, because Belinda is like, I'm gonna go with you to the hospital after Tony calls to tell about Miss Gladys OD, and he's like, girl, I don't even know you. And I'm like, exactly. But they in there freaking doing things that they ain't got no damn business. And okay, let's talk about Belinda real quick, because this is the thing that actually Belinda and Nate, this is the thing I don't like about some of Tyler Perry's writing. It's like he makes so convenient. These characters make these really ridiculous 180 shifts, and I don't feel like that's how people actually work. Nate, you have been gung-ho on breaking up Zach and Fatima, but you sitting across from Belinda on this couch and you trying to chastise her for her hate of this relationship and call her to the carpet. Meanwhile, you have been her partner in crime or a co-conspirator before you even knew who the hell she was, and y'all both was going after their relationship because y'all both are damn jealous. So I don't like how he was able to get on his goddamn high horse when it came to Belinda. And I get that he's saying that he would not have gone as far as making a dating profile, but you have gone as far as to disrespect Fatima to her face. You have gone as far as to do a bunch of things that's completely out of pocket. So no, it's not the same as making a dating profile, but you have crossed the line time and time again. So don't be looking at Belinda like she's dead ass wrong, but you can't even look at yourself and be like, I'm dead ass wrong. Like, I would have appreciated it better if he would have said we were wrong, which he does. Okay, he does have a moment of like, I was wrong, but it doesn't actually feel like I can trust him or believe it, because he doesn't tie it to anything aside from Zach not wanting to speak to him anymore, which means that you're being coerced into feeling this and you still have resentment. But like, what about everything that has transpired that has actually caused a shift in you, versus you just suffering from the consequences of your actions and just trying to do the best thing that's going to get Zach talking to you again? Like, again, some of the men don't actually show changed behavior. You're still banging Belinda and you're married, but you want to have the moral high ground over Belinda about hating on your friend's relationship. Like, no, sir, we're gonna need you to talk out exactly what the hell's going on in your mind, because you don't get to create passes for what's moral and what's not, what's good and what's not, what you okay with. So now all of a sudden you're gonna stop actively working against the Zach and Fatima relationship, and we supposed to get on board as you the leader of like championing them. No, nigga, you were still an op. Even if you decide to stop doing the things that you're doing, you're still an op. There's a cooling off period for the amount of time that you're an op. And for the amount of time that you spent actively working against their relationship, we need at least bare minimum, 4 times that amount of time before you won't be considered an op again. You got to go 4 times the amount of time that you have spent conspiring against ZATIMA, not doing nothing or supporting their relationship, before you will be taken off the goddamn op list. So like, don't sit over here and try to be better than Belinda. And yes, Belinda is raggedy, and yes, Belinda is trash, and yes, Belinda does want Zach, which I low-key kind of wish Tyler Perry would kind of explore that a little bit. Like, for him to give us the taste of Belinda is hating on this relationship because she secretly still wants to engage with sexual interactions with Zach, or she's jealous of Fatima. Like, I would love to see part of her story go into depth there, and like her unpacking those feelings. And if those things are the case, it's not cool, but it's real, right? Like, take us through the mind of a woman who's experiencing that. How does she get to this particular place? What does she think of herself? Do she actually value this relationship with Fatima? Like, have her process, maybe not specifically with Fatima, but maybe with Angela. Like, let her guard down to some point to be honest about like is it about ZAC and specifically wanting what he's given to Fatima, or has she always been jealous of Fatima? And what the hell does that jealousy look like? I think women get stereotyped as like catty and can't have friendships or relationships or whatever, and we don't actually, in the broader scope of things or in media, enough establish or tell the story of like what those circumstances look like. Like, I happen to be blessed to have beautiful female friendships that just are literally the pillar that I build every other relationship on, and that have taught me so much in reference to value of myself as well as other people. So I don't know the struggle of like hating on my friend or being so jealous of my friend and I'm doing all of these things, but I can imagine that there are women out there like that, and I just wish that if Tyler's going to touch on this story, that he actually tell the story so that I can in some way empathize with Belinda, because right now I don't. She just gives off stupid ass hater girl, and it's like, okay, cool, but sometimes there's something to that. And yes, it's definitely lack of self-esteem and lack mentality or whatever, but like, let's explore it versus her just sitting here being mad. Like, even watching her get all jealous talking about Nathan better not be messing with no other girls. Ma'am, he's married, ma'am. What are we fucking talking about here? And she was really getting in her feelings. But when Tony calls and Nathan jumps up, she's like, I'm going with you. Girl, why are you going? You literally just had a whole conversation about how you do not like Zachary Taylor. But you gonna take your ass down to the hospital where his mama OD'd for what? If I didn't know you any better, I would think that you was wishing death upon his mama just to get back at him because you supposedly don't like him that much. Girl, keep your ass away from this hospital. What are we talking about? This episode really did tickle me. Now, in other news, Fatima gives Paul a call and she wants to go for a run, but it's late at night. And she like, you want to come with me? And I'm like really caught off guard right now, y'all, because I feel, and I have voiced how I felt like Tyler Perry was dropping the ball when it came to Paul. But I literally don't have no notes. I have no notes about this episode and Paul's dialogue, from him showing up for her as a friend and being there when she needs and like talking it out, but then also still expressing certain things because he is a man and he is sexually attracted to Fatima. I sat there and watched the whole time and I'm like, well, she can't go there with you, bruh. Like, she can't do any of this right now. But I also didn't blame him for trying. I didn't blame him for not a damn shot that he threw up. Because, girl, I know Fatima, you not in a place and you desperately still want Zach back. But I was just like, girl, I'm getting weak in the knees for your ass. What are we talking about? This man, ooh. This man, look at how he looking. He listening how he listening. He seeing you how he's seeing you. And we don't want just one little test drive. Just a little bit. Fatima, just dip your toe in it, girl. Just dip your... This scene with them sitting on the swings after her run was just so cute to me. And they don't have like this electric chemistry that we saw at the beginning of Zach and Fatima coming together. But I do think that Paul and Fatima have a very nuanced and subtle chemistry that just feels like safe, and it also feels very sustainable. So I really want to root for that. And like when Paul was like, I'm never going to not answer your calls, and she's like, why would you do that? And he was like, because any one of them could be the one that you say now. Not you gonna wait for her. Not you really do see a future and you want to try. Not you understand exactly where she is, but you also know that you do have a very real chance because Zach is fucking up. Clearly Paul tickled me, honey. Tickled me. And I really liked that he was able to show up for Fatima in this moment, and she was able to get away, even though he was still applying a little bit of pressure. Just a little bit of pressure. I think all in all, he does want the best for her, and he does put her needs first. But it's interesting. It's interesting because, you know, he also doesn't let his needs go unspoken to or unnoticed, even if they can't act upon anything to alleviate those needs. I want to think a little bit more about this because I literally just watched the episode and I'm recording this, but I always have conversations about how I want men to be more comfortable with the friend zone. And I personally, now this is me, myself, Erica. Don't get in my comment section and say a bunch of rah-rah because I'm speaking for myself right now, okay? I personally advocate and like would love to meet new men that are friends first and like are in the friend zone, and my husband, forever love whatever, comes out of the friend zone. And I would like that because I personally only want to be partnered forever with someone who I believe actually values me as a person and not just a part. Like, I do not want to like fall in love and marry a man who basically just bamboozled my ass because he really just wanted to have sex with me. He doesn't give a shit about me as a person. He don't give a shit about me mentally. He don't give a shit about me spiritually. Like, and that's my thing around the friend zone. Like, the male friends that I have, like, none of them in the friend zone right now I actually am attracted to or want, and I don't believe that they want me. But I want new niggas to come in and like figure out if you like me as a person before you figure out that you want to put your parts in me. Like, is that too much to ask? Is that too much? Like, I don't think it is. So I asked that question, but it was very much so rhetorical. Don't get your ass in the comment section saying that's too much to ask. So it's interesting watching Paul and Fatima because he's navigating that space that I feel like men don't actually navigate very well. Like, I really get turned, like, even if I'm sexually attracted to you, I'll get turned off really quickly if you're only objectifying me. Like, if you only see me as a sexual object and like, girl, he don't give a shit about your brains. He don't give a shit about how your heart posture is. He don't care about how you are able to articulate your feelings and your emotional stability. I immediately get turned off. The moment I detect that, it don't matter how fine you are. It don't matter any of those things. And I think that Paul is doing a beautiful job of navigating all of those things while also still communicating the sexual attraction, which is interesting because up until this point, I was just like, I don't believe it to be possible. So I might have another video to like dive further into that. Y'all can let me know what y'all think about that. I don't personally need you to tell me how wrong I am about my choices for my life, but how you feel and how you're navigating your life and what you think about that as it pertains to you, go ahead and share. Now, back at the damn hospital, because Miss Gladys OD'd and ZAC is emotionally wrecked by it, Jeremiah shows up and ZAC, you know, promptly beats his ass. But he beats his ass after Jeremiah calls Fatima a couple bitches. And I'm just like, wrong time. And yes, y'all, clearly Jeremiah is high. He has been getting high this whole time. That's what he was alluding to. I just thought he was a cruddy nigga. I just thought he was a little crud, little dirt McGirt. But no, I didn't really believe that Jeremiah was getting high until the therapy session. But now it's like, oh no, he's been high this entire time. And they going back and forth. Jeremiah is blaming ZAC, of course, kicking the can down the road and passing the buck because ZAC then pulled herself up by his bootstraps and they feel a way about it. And then Connie, I think it's interesting because Connie is the level-headed one in this moment. As we know, she's the one who brings ZAC or gets ZAC to come to the hospital, tell him about his mom. But she reminds ZAC that he needs to be grateful because he's not living the life of his mom and his brother. And I think that she's so right here. It's interesting that about her perspective though, she's like, you got out of jail, immediately got a job at the airport, and then pulled yourself up and got on. And I guess the last 3 years, it might seem like that because he's had such a very expedited rise financially. But this moment also let me know exactly how much everybody don't know about him and how they have not actually interacted with him in this time. So he was in jail for, I believe, 3 years, and he was in a relationship with Karen for 3 years, and now he's just coming out of it, and this is a couple weeks out of it. So like for the last 6 years, y'all have been left to y'all own damn devices, and you hear things about ZAC, but you don't actually know what's going on. So I guess with that context, you could look at it and be like, damn, you're really winning in life. And I guess Jeremiah's cultivating even more jealousy because he's had jealousy the entire time. I think Jeremiah could be fighting or battling some resentment about how Gladys really does feel about ZAC. With ZAC being a baby, I wonder if Gladys treated him better or looked or came across like she loves ZAC more, and that was the seeds for Jeremiah's jealousy. And then watching ZAC navigate life and watching ZAC not fall victim to drugs, watching ZAC go to jail and get out and then do better, and then looking at that as compared to his life and seeing how he has experienced a lot of the same things as ZAC, but was not able to prevail, was not able to persist. I can see it's not okay, but I can see where that jealousy comes from. I know that ZAC has a lot of resentment and anger to his brother. He feels like his brother is responsible for his mama's current state, which I think he has a part to play. But at the end of the day, Gladys is responsible for Gladys's current state. And ZAC is going to need to find some kind of compassion and grace for his brother. I ultimately think it will not only help their relationship, but it will also help him heal once he's able to see from that point of view. I think that he kind of like has a God complex when it comes to his mother and his brother, and that's normal, right? Like, we all kind of have that with our parents, and it's not until we realize that our parents are people that we can engage with them and their mistakes in a different way, in a more human experience type of way. And I think that that's what's in the cards for ZAC and his brother, if he can get to that place, and if he stays in therapy and therapy helps him get to that place. Now, if Miss Gladys dies, all bets are off, but we don't know by the end of this episode. And then, as I mentioned, y'all, Fatima's thinking about getting back together with ZAC. Let's talk about episode 18, because that's all I got to say about episode 17. Let me know what you thought in the comment section down below about the episode and the things that went down. Let's go ahead and chop it up. It's your good sis, you let us talk TV with, and I'll see you in the episode 18 breakdown.